And we are live. Welcome back, guys. I think this is episode 6 of the FullBack Dive podcast. So let's just get into it. First things first, sorry about not recording about the last week. I've been busy with, school and stuff, but I think I'm officially back into some type of groove. So we're going to jump into it. It's been a couple, major things have happened since I last recorded. I'm pretty sure the day I recorded last, that night, Bruce Arians went to the front office. Retired from coaching. He'll still have a role in the organization. So I'll talk about that first. And then we'll, a few other things I remember from the week, the Devontae Parker trade. I don't know if that happened before or after. I think it happened this week. So I'll talk about the Devontae Parker trade, my thoughts on that. And then we'll jump into my first Patriots mock. I've done a couple, but I didn't show it, obviously. This will be the first one I did for a YouTube video. I'll post this on my Twitter, maybe even my TikTok. I still have to keep uploading on that. I will post that, and I'm going to do probably a couple more until the draft starts, but I think this is going to be the best one you'll see, at least on the Patriots side. But first, Bruce Arians. I have mixed thoughts on Bruce Arians. I mean, you can't deny what he's done accomplishment-wise, especially the last couple years. Coaching style, I'm not biggest on, but hey, he knows more than I do. He'll probably know more than I'll ever forget. He just knows, a lot, and you got to respect that. The last few seasons, though, there's been some reports that him and Brady didn't mesh well. His offense kind of got kicked to the can in favor of Leftwich and Brady's offense. That was last season. So, I at the end of the day, I think it's an upgrade for Tampa Bay. It allows Todd Bowles, who has, coaching experience, to step in, do what he's done before. And it allows Leftwich to stay on the offensive side of the ball with Brady, which you can't deny that is important for an organization. Got a little bit of mic issue. You don't mind me. Hold on 1 second. That is not a good noise. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving on. So that's it. I think it's an overall good move for Tampa Bay. He's still in the organization. He'll have some say on a few things. But at the end of the day, you can't hate it. I don't think it's a bad move. I think they've improved this offseason, even with the loss of Aldi Marpet. I think they have improved as a team. And I think you'll see that next season, especially in a weaker NFC South. That's my thoughts on it. I'm not biggest on Bruce Arians, but got to respect it. He's had a long career, and he knows more than almost anyone in the game. Moving on to the Devontae Parker trade. This is huge. I love it. A lot of Patriots fans are mixed feelings. I'm not one of those. I personally love the move. And here's why. First of all, the Devontae Parker trade, we kind of knew it was coming once the Tyreek Hill trade was announced. But we just didn't know where. And there was some rumors New England was interested. But I was even kind of dismissive of the idea at first. Mainly because, it's an in-division trade. And that is just rare. You don't see that a lot, especially between Miami and New England. They've done a few trades throughout the years. But mostly, they don't mesh. However, I think the market for Parker wasn't too big because he is going to need a contract extension. He has 2 years left on his deal, but with the wide receiver market, you'd think he would have more than just a third-round pick. And it's a future third. It's not even a third in this draft. And on top of that, we even got a fifth-round pick, which is huge considering we didn't have many fifth-round picks, even with the Shaq Mason trade. And we didn't have much depth in between our third and 6. So we had a pretty substantial hole. And that got fixed. I love it. I'd give the trade an A. Contract-wise, he's, under a team-friendly deal for 2 years. He's meshing with the other receivers in the offseason. You'll love to see it. Huge get. He's a wide receiver 1 for Mac. Is he the best wide receiver 1? No. But it's about adding talent around Mac Jones and letting him develop. If you're not going to have Josh McDaniels, you need to have the talent. If you're not going to have the talent, you need to have the coaching. One of them is important, and I think they've shown they're willing to put the talent around Mac. I love it. Let's go win a Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen, but I can wish. But let's jump into this mock. What do the Patriots need to do to win the Super Bowl? This mock would go a long way. A long way. I'll talk more about it. It does include a New England Classic trade down. Not a big trade down because PFF doesn't like the trade down thing. No team wanted that pick beside the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll get into it. And let me just move my camera a little bit and get our mock. We're going to put the mock right next. It's here for you guys to look at. But I'm just going to jump into it. With our first pick, I have us trading down the first pick. And the reason I do that is kind of a weird thing. But I love the depth in this class. And picking up an extra pick later on helps us massively. So with the first pick 24 from the Dallas Cowboys, we pick up a first this year and an extra third, pick 88, which gets one of my favorite players in this class, mind you. But at pick 24, we get Andrew Booth, the corner out of Clemson. Andrew Booth is someone I'm starting to get a little excited about. He has scary length. He can play boundary. He can even kind of play inside if you need him to. But we really need a boundary corner. I love Kaiir Elam. I think he is just as good as Andrew Booth. However, if we are trading down and Andrew Booth is still there, there's no reason not to take him. He is, in my opinion, probably the third or fourth best corner in this class. You can have him, Elam, Daxton Hill, who I also thought about going at pick 24. All three are phenomenal options. All help the defense get faster and get more aggressive. And that's what you need. So I think it'd be a big get for Andrew Booth. Listen, New England needs talent on the defense. We've improved it. We got Jabril Peppers in free agency, who's going to kind of play more box, but he can also play outside if needed. We've still got Jonathan Jones coming back. We got Malcolm Butler, Terrence Mitchell. We've got okay players, but one more boundary corner would push us over that little edge. Can't forget Miles Bryant, although he's definitely a slot guy. He's not a boundary player. Trust me, we saw that last season. He isn't boundary. We understand that now. He's just not. It's not his thing. Second round. Now this PFF graded this horribly because they think John Mechie's a third round talent. I vehemently disagree. I have us selecting him at pick 54. I don't even see him falling that far. Honestly. It's a good wide receiver draft. Don't get me wrong. But John Mechie is getting a lot of... He's just not hyped. And I don't understand why. He's an Alabama receiver. Jameson Williams is stealing some of that hype. And that's understandable. He's Jameson Williams, special player. But the John Mechie disrespect doesn't make sense. He's been productive with Mac Jones. Some Jameson Williams hasn't. He's been productive. And honestly, I don't know if Williams has the stretch last season that he had without Mechie. Yeah, Mechie has that injury. That's a concern. Is it something where he's going to fall into the third? I highly doubt it. PFF has him as like a mid-third prospect. I don't get it. Other mock draft simulators, I don't really use them. I use PFF mainly because it's the best interactive. Maybe have him in the second, but anyone saying he's later than a second-round pick, I disagree. I could even see him go in the first. It wouldn't shock me to see him, go pick 28 to 32 at all. So, pick 54 for John Mechie. He adds a weapon, like I said earlier. We need talent around Mac Jones. We have now Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar. 4 solid receivers. But there's one thing missing. Even Devontae Parker doesn't have it. And that is a true X factor. Now, can John Mechie not be an X factor? Definitely. I'm not saying he's a guaranteed. He's far from a guarantee. But he has that connection with Mac that you see, and I'm not calling him Jamar Chase, but you see it from Jamar Chase and Burrow. They have that mental connection, and Mechie and Mac meshed well. Will it be the exact same? No. Of course it won't. I'm not saying it will be. However, I would love to see it. Add more talent, and let's go get it. John Mechie would be a huge get at 54. In the third round, the first of our 2 third-round picks, I have us going Zach Tom, the tackle out of Wake Forest. Another one PFF doesn't like for us because they think we're fine at tackle because, Trent Brown. I don't think Zach Tom is necessarily going to play tackle in the NFL. A little concerned about his size and his arm length. But could he play guard? Absolutely. Do we have a massive gaping hole at the left guard position? Yes. Just seems like a pick. I think almost every Patriots mock has Zach Tom in there. And I'm going with the flow because it makes too much sense. It's one of those ones that I think you kind of have to do. I love it. Gives us versatility, especially if Isaiah Wynn and Trent Brown both have had some injury history. It gives us an added layer of depth, and it lets Mac Jones sleep just a little better at night, knowing he's got a swing tackle / hybrid guard that can come in and play any position, any snap. I love it. You could also see us going tackle in the second. Trevor Penning, if he falls. Like, some people are saying Trevor Penning may go be a second-round pick. I don't see it. But if Trevor Penning falls and we trade up, wouldn't be a bad pick for us. Same thing, Trevor Penning. I don't think he's a guard. He's definitely a tackle. But, if Isaiah Wynn walks next season, we need to have somebody play left tackle. And Trent Brown may not be healthy enough, or he may just want to stay at right. Go get Zach Tom. He fills up so many holes on the offensive line. Just get it. Do it. But this is my favorite player in the class that isn't a first or second round pick. And that's JoJo Domann out of Nebraska. Now, believe it or not, I didn't watch much of his tape until about 3 weeks ago. Versatility. Jonathan Jones tweeted out about 2 weeks ago. Chess. Versatility. Positionless. We're going positionless football. Not only the Patriots, but the NFL is going positionless football. And if there's a player in this class that exemplifies positionless football, it's JoJo. And let me tell you why. Daxton Hill is the first guy people say doesn't have a position. This guy doesn't. I can't get my camera lined up. That guy. He doesn't have a position. He was actually primarily a slot corner in the NFL this year. Or, in Nebraska. Sorry. He was a slot corner. But he has the size to play inside. That is massively important. He, in my opinion, is like poor man's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I was huge on Koramoah last year, and he was great in Cleveland. Had a little injury bug and wasn't fully healthy, but he was still beastly. I love JoJo from New England. It just screams fit. As much as I like Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd, he just sounds like a Patriot. I loved his tape. I may even do a little video of his tape if I can find some. Loved it. Go in. Don't even think about it. It's not a hard, should I do it? Should we do it? Yes, do it. Move on. Just do it. And I think every Patriot fan should be happy if we get JoJo Domann out of Nebraska. I'm going to mispronounce your name. This is one of the picks where I didn't like at all. I wanted to trade down, but there was no trade down options. So I picked the best edge available. I don't know much about him. Ioma Owuzaki. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name. I see him, New England, going an edge at this position, whether it's this guy or one of the other edges in this class. I definitely think we need to pair some depth with Ronnie Perkins, Uche, and Judon. I know, people are really high on Uche, and I love Uche, but we need one more piece on that rotation. And I think he could do it. I haven't watched a lot of his tape, but I looked at his breakdowns. I watched a little bit of highlight, which I know you're not supposed to call off highlights. I know, sorry, a little lazy, but he can play. And I think he would be, good size off the edge. But that's probably my least confident pick of the rest. Let's keep going. And then a few picks later in the fifth, I have us going Hassan Haskins out of Michigan, the running back. Now, a lot of people are going to probably be, why are you picking a running back? You're talking to Sony Michel, you worked out Leonard Fournette. Why are you going to pick a rookie running back in the fifth? I'll tell you why. For one reason. You never know what's going to happen in contract negotiations. I love Damian. I really do. But if he walks, gets injured, or just is never the same player, because running backs have that steep decline. And sadly, Patriots aren't, exempt from that. I think it's always good to pick a running back in day 3. I think it's almost something that teams should do almost every year. You never know what you're going to find. Hassan Haskins has shown he can play ball. He had a couple really good games last year for Michigan. He can catch the ball. 18 to 20. He had caught 18 balls on 20 targets last season in Michigan. Something you may not have known. He's got hands. I don't really know about his run blocking and pass blocking. I haven't seen too many of his pass blocking snaps. But, why not? We got James White if we need a for sure pass blocker. He would be a most likely sit the whole rookie season type of guy, which, isn't uncommon in New England. He would definitely compete with J.J. Taylor for that last running back roster spot, or he may even be a guy we pick later stash on the practice squad. Either way, I don't mind. Huge get for us. I like Hassan Haskins' game. Let's go for it. The next one, I have a trade down with the Bears, mainly because I could not find out another player that I wanted in this range. The players I wanted, who I picked in round 6, I did not like as 5th round picks. So, traded with the Bears. Oh, sorry, it's 4th round picks. So I traded with the Bears. Got 6 and 2/5. So I think those guys we picked above. Didn't really like any of the 4th round guys. But round 6, I do. Marquand McCall is a nose tackle out of Kentucky. If there's one thing Kentucky football knows how to do, besides leech off the basketball program, if there's one thing Kentucky football knows how to do, it's get some nose tackles. They like the big boys in Kentucky. They like to feed them. I don't know what they feed them in Kentucky, but they're always really big and they're always really good. Hey man, I was high on who was that nose tackle last year from Kentucky? Anyway, this is his successor. I'm huge on him. We just need another presence up front. Nose tackle is really important in New England's scheme. And if we don't get Jordan Davis, which I don't think he'll be there at 21, and I don't see us trading up for a nose tackle. If we don't get Jordan Davis, I didn't really like any of the nose tackles in the 2nd through 4th. Get him. He might not make the roster his rookie year, which is fine. But he has some high upside. And again, nose tackle is important in New England. Let's go for it. My last 2 picks. I went a little crazy with this pick. This is controversial. Because Patriots fans love Jake Bailey. I love Jake Bailey. Every Patriots fan should love Jake Bailey. All pro. Just as an issue. This punter is legit. Matt Ariza. San Diego State. If you guys didn't watch the Combine or his Pro Day, you missed out. Entertaining. 80-yard punts. You love to see it. He's a lefty. He screams New England. Bring in competition. You saw it last season with undrafted free agent Quinn Norton. We drafted Justin Walrosser. Hey, go for it. It's a 6th-round pick. And I think at this point, if the draft plays out like this, if we get all these picks before, and then we get to this 6th-round pick and we don't want to trade it, go get a punter. I never understood the people that hated the idea of the Panthers selecting Thomas Fletcher last year, the long snapper. Hey, man, if you like him and you have a 6th-round pick, go for it. Get your guy. Don't risk him going into undrafted and, the Rams offer him $100,000. I mean, just go for it. I never understood that. It's a dumb thought process. It's outdated. You can't draft this. That's, analytics getting a little too. There's a better chance that Matt Ariza has a 10 to 12, 13-year career where he punts and makes an all-pro team than picking some tight end and he's out of the league in 2 years. There's just a better chance. I mean, go for it. Is there a chance he sucks? Of course. That's with every 6th-round pick. Go for it. I love it. Let's get him. Bring him in. Compete with Jake Bailey. Go for it. And the final pick of this mock draft, this is probably someone no Patriot fan knows about. And it's the only reason I know about him is because I've watched a lot of Georgia Tech football, more than any human probably should be subjected to. Malachi Carter. Now, you guys are probably like, who the fuck is Malachi Carter? Good question. Let me educate you. He is a tall receiver from Georgia Tech. Shocker, I know. Probably played tight end in high school. He was the rookie year, or the last year, Paul Johnson. Yeah, Coach Johnson. Read option guy. I don't like the read option. I've watched a lot of read option because of Georgia Tech. And I'm now at USM Golden Eagle. Thank you. But I had to watch a lot of Georgia Tech. But Malachi Carter has got hops. He reminds me very similar of Jalen Camp, who was a physical freak in the last class. He's on the Jaguars right now. I wish they would give him a chance. Give Jalen Camp a chance. He can be a jump ball, please. But they signed all the receivers, so he's not going to get a chance there. But Malachi Carter, he can block. And he can jump. He is N'Keal Harry. Actually, N'Keal Harry can't jump. He's better than N'Keal Harry. I'm willing to say that. Yeah. He'd be your N'Keal Harry. He'd be your 6th receiver / practice squad guy if you want to keep Christian Wilkerson on the roster, which I'm not against keeping Christian Wilkerson on the roster. I am all for Malachi Carter. Not many people know about him. Not many people will. It doesn't hurt. Again, like like I said, 6th, 7th round flyer. Just take who you want. Don't go with the outdated. You have to pick a tight end or an offensive lineman. Pick who you want. Get Malachi Carter, New England. Make me look smart. But this is my mock. Now, obviously, this probably will be like 5% accurate. We'll probably end up getting none of these guys, as every mock draft is. But it's fun. I'll probably do another New England mock before the draft, as well as I know a couple more normal mocks. Hopefully, I can update a little bit more consistently. Again, just been busy the last few weeks. But other than that, that's all I had. Just wanted to get a quick episode out today with that mock. That was the main point. I can't wait for the draft. My favorite time. I still might live stream the draft. I have to figure out how I'm going to set that up. It may be in a different setup in the office. Maybe in the front of the room. I don't know. Maybe even in my bed. I don't know. But I'm going to see if we can do at least a stream for the first round. And maybe day 2. And if we get really crazy, I can set up a day 3 part. We'll see. Depends how much homework I have during that time. That may be during finals week. And if it's during finals week, I ain't going to be able to do it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Next episode probably won't be a mock. I know I've kind of overloaded you guys on mocks. I may do another off-season video, or I maybe do another just draft recap, or maybe even a big board. Maybe a big board. I'll do that. But thank you guys for watching the FullBack Dive podcast. And I'll see you. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the